Have a nice day. Today is Sunday, 22nd of September 2024. This day is celebrated as National Daughters Day. It's a heartfelt occasion dedicated to honoring the invaluable contributions of daughters in our lives. This year, the special occasion will be celebrated on September 22nd, 2024, coinciding with the fourth Sunday of September. From the history point of view, 1941, the Holocaust in Ukraine on the Jewish New Year. The German SS murdered 6,000 Jews in Venetia, Ukraine. Those are the survivors of the previous killings that took place a few days earlier, in which about 24,000 Jews were executed. From Indian history point of view, in 1965, on this day, the Indo-Pakistani War of 1965 between India and Pakistan over Kashmir ends after the United Nations calls for a ceasefire. Starting the news with the news with the Hindu status that Sri Lankan presidential elections. The Sanjak on way to win. Postal voting results suggest leader and the presidential candidate of the National People's Power, Anura Kumara Desanayak, arrives at a polling station to cast his vote in Colombo, Sri Lanka, Saturday to September 21st, 2024. The election dabbled a three-concerned contest between Mr. Vikram Singhe, Mr. Disanayak, and Mr. Premadasa of the Samagi Jana Balavegya SJP shows a sigma of being a landslide for Mr. Disanayak, who would become Sri Lanka's first ever Marxist head of the state. National People's Power NPP leader Anura Kumara Disanayak seems set to be Sri Lanka's ninth executive president on Sunday, September 22nd, 2024. That's today, with an impressive show in the presidential election, according to the postal voting results of 7 electoral districts. Now, coming to India, in a first, India invites foreign diplomats to Jammu and Kashmir to witness elections. Voters queuing up to cast their ballots at a polling station during the first phase of assembly elections in Mazmo area of Kulgam district south of Srinagar on September 18, 2024. Nearly 20 diplomats of select embassies, including of the United States, France, Germany, Singapore, the Philippines, and Malaysia, invited. It reflects a confidence in the law and order situation, despite a recent uptick in terror attacks on military camps. Buoyed by the peaceful ongoing election in Jammu and Kashmir and a higher voter turnout of 61% in the first phase of polling, the Ministry of External Affairs has invited a group of senior diplomats, mainly from the American, European, and the Association of the Southeast Asia Nations (ASEAN) embassies to visit Kashmir for the first-hand account of the ongoing election process in the Jammu and Kashmir, sources told The Hindu. Official sources said the Ministry of External Affairs extended invitations to around 20 diplomats of select embassies functioning in New Delhi, including the US, France, Germany, Singapore, the Philippines, and the Malaysia. So far, 16 diplomats have accepted the invitation. They are expected to arrive in the Kashmir on two-day visit on September 25. The day Srinagar is going to the polls. Our message is clear. God is here to stay. Prime Minister Modi at Leaders Summit. PM Narendra Modi addresses the core leaders summit at Wellington in Delaware on Saturday, September 21st, 2024. A free, open, inclusive, and prosperous Indo-Pacific in the group owing priority, Mr. Modi said, without naming any country. PM Narendra Modi on Saturday, September 21st, 2024, said the core is not against anyone, but for rules-based international order and respect for sovereignty. Our message is clear. God is here to stay, to assist, to partner, and to complement. Mr. Modi said in his opening remarks at the summit hosted by United States President Joe Biden and also attended by Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. No loss of territory is happening now into China. Ladakh Lieutenant Governor Brigadier B.D. Mishra retired, speaking at a HemTech symposium in Leh on Saturday. Ladakh Lieutenant Governor B.D. Mishra also said that agnivirus are proving very effective, and anybody who is propagating against the program is bordering on being anti-national. Whatever loss of territory that occurred along the line of actual control in Ladakh occurred during the 1962 war around that period, and no loss is happening now. Lieutenant Governor of Ladakh Brigadier B.D. Mishra, retired, said. He also said the agnivirus are proving very effective, and anybody who is making a propaganda of the many disadvantages about this agnivirus project is not a national interest and bordering an anti-national. I find that military preparation is very good, and as far as Union Territory Administration is concerned, we are developing infrastructure. We are developing roads, and all the project proposals that come to me from the border road organizations. Sanctioned without a delay, the Lieutenant Governor said, speaking to the media on the sidelines of the Hemtech Symposium that concluded on Saturday, September 21st, 2024. Going to the Hindustan Times newspaper states that Narendra Modi live updates our message clear. God is here to stay, says PM. Once again, US President Joe Biden, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi take part in the Quad Leaders Summit family photo in Claymouth, Delaware, US, September 21st, 2024. Narendra Modi live updates. Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in the United States on Saturday, local time, for a 3-day visit, starting with the Quad Leaders Summit hosted by outgoing US President Joe Biden in Wellington, Delaware. Along with other Quad leaders, he attended the summit in the Biden's hometown. Quad Summit, the Quad originally called the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. The strategic alliance that includes Australia, India, Japan, and the United States. This year, President Biden hosted the leaders of these nations, holding the bilateral meetings with each. This marks the first time Biden has invited foreign leaders to Wellington, signaling his strong relationship with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. The leaders have met 6 times so far, with 4 of those meetings held in person since Biden invited the Quad to leadership level forum in 2025. This summit is Biden's last Quad meeting, an alliance he prioritized and raised to a higher significance level during his first year as a president. During his United States visit, Prime Minister Modi will speak at the Summit of the Future at the United Nations General Assembly in New York on September 23rd. The summit's theme is Multilateral Solutions for a Better Tomorrow. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has described the event as a once-in-a-generation UN summit. The Summit of Future holds particular significance as the United Nations approaches its 80th anniversary in 2025. At the summit, United Nations member states will adopt the Pact of the Future by consensus, which includes annexes such as the Global Digital Compact and the Declaration of the Future Generations. Every day was a nightmare. Bengal man returns home from Russia-Ukraine war. Arjun Tangmang's 2 children and a wife were in tears when they saw him coming out of the Bagdora airport near Siliguri town in the North Bengal on Saturday. Arjun Tamang, a resident of Hemali Gaon, a small hilly village in West Bengal, Kalimpong district, recalled how he, along with a few other persons, were tapped by job agents and forced by the Russian military to join the war against Ukraine after a basic weapon training of just 12 days. An insider account of the India-United States relation under the Biden and Modi. Anthony Renzulli, former director for India at the United States National Security Code. Washington. Anthony Renzulli served as the director for India at the United States National Security Council between 2022 and the middle of the 2024, after having served as the acting director for the India in the State Department in 2021-2022. Renzulli recently retired from the United States Foreign Service after a 21-year-long career. He is among the few officials to have a window into the United States-India relationships from the ground in capitals in South Asia and at the apex of the policy-making structures in the state and the NSC in Washington, D.C., where he has coordinated the integration process and negotiated with India on joint statements during high-level visits. Bengal junior doctor resume essential services hold simultaneous protests. Junior doctor came out of the trauma center at Editorial Medical College and Hospital after they rejoined their duty partially in Kolkata on Saturday. The junior doctor in West Bengal, who have been on strike since August 9 over the brutal rape and murder of the trainee doctor at the Editorial Medical College and Hospital in Kolkata last month, partially lifted the KAC's work while joining essential services in various state-run hospitals on Saturday. According to the economy of the country from business point of view, food price volatility remains a contingent risk. RBI Bulletin article. Headline inflation as measured by year-on-year changes in all India CPI and edged up to 3.7% in August month of 2024 from 3.6% in July month of 2024. The RBI has been targeting to keep inflation at a 4% on a durable basis. Although consumer price index CPI inflation has remained below the 4% target in the July month and August month, volatility in the food prices continues to pose risk at Reserve Bank of India, article says. United States Model 6 sold total operator Oyo for $525 billion. The New York-based investment from the Blackstone, which owns Motel 6's parent company G6 Hospitality, announced Friday that the deal would be an all-cash transaction worth $525 million. The budget motel chain Motel 6 is being acquired by a parent company of Oyo, a hotel operator based in India. Oyo, which launched in just India over a decade ago, has been expanding its footprints in the US over the past few years. Going towards the world news, including airline up and downs plans for the hate speech law, Justice Minister confirms. New Zealand pilot freed by Indonesian rebels after 19 months in captivity. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres seeks support for vision for global future. Russia rejects follow-up to Swiss organized peace summit. Zelensky urges United States for help as the Ukraine hits Russian armed deports. France forms a new center-right government after 2 months of political uncertainty. Going to science and tech. What is the Nipah protocol in Kerala? Health officials at the Nipah triage of the Government Medical College Kozhikode in 2023. Stories so far. On September 14, a fresh Nipah scare erupted in Malappuram, the largest populated district of Kerala, when a 24-year-old man who died at MES Medical College Hospital Perinthalmanna on September 9 was found positive for the deadly virus. The health authorities in the state remained silent on that day as they waited for the final test results from the National Institute of Virology at Pune. But they were almost certain about the final results after the state virology laboratory at the Government Medical College Kozhikode flagged the test positive. First repository of cancer genomics in India launched. Historically, cancer treatments in India have been based on the Western data sets, but cancers in Indian patients can differ significantly at the molecular level, says experts. In a step towards the improving understanding of the genetic variation of cancer in the Indian population, the Indian Cancer Genome Atlas (ICGA) Foundation has launched a portal that expects to be a repository of information on multiple aspects of cancer. The portal will be the first in India to offer data that includes DNA, RNA, and protein profiles of breast cancer patients, integrated with the clinical outcomes, Suvira Thup, Chief Operating Officer, ICGA Foundation, said. Historically, cancer treatments in India have been based on Western data sets. However, cancers in Indian patients can differ significantly at the molecular level. Shekhar Mende, former Director General of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, and associated with the initiative, said, adding creating a repository of this sort and openly sharing this data. We are empowering researchers, clinicians, and innovators to collaborate, explore new frontiers, and drive transformative breakthroughs in cancer treatment. Breast cancer in 2020 surpassed lung cancer as the leading cause of global cancer incidence in the 2020, with an estimated of 2.3 million new cases, representing 11.7% of all lung cancer cases, with the global burden expected to cross almost 2 million of the year 2030. According to the latest available figures, there were 192,020 new cases of breast cancer reported in 2022, accounting for 13.6% of all cancer cases and over 26% cancer cases in women. About 98,000 women died of breast cancer in 2022 in India, the highest number of breast cancer deaths in the world that year. Drug-resistant urinary tract and bloodstream infections, typhoid and pneumonia show resistance to commonly used antibiotics. In a Council of Medical Research report, a view of ICMR in New Delhi. The report highlights that antibiotic overuse and misuse are the biggest drivers of antimicrobial resistance, and the dynamic nature of the resistance patterns requires ongoing monitoring and adaptive strategies to maintain the effectiveness of current antibiotics. Drug-resistant and difficult to treat urinary tract infection, UTI, bloodstream infection, pneumonia, and typhoid are among the diseases that are showing the resistance to commonly used antibiotics, according to a report published recently in the ICMR. ICMR, the Indian Council of Medical Research, Antimicrobial Resistance Surveillance Network, AMRSN. The data collected by the network provides trends and patterns of antimicrobial resistance AMR in the 6 key pathogenic groups in the country, along with insights on key mechanisms of resistance that are prevalent in different pathogenic groups using genomics and whole genome sequencing. This is the 7th detailed report from the ICMR AMRSN and presents the data from January 1st to December 31st, 2023. Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO chief says cutting-edge projects avoided in India due to the aversion to risk and intolerance of failure. Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO Chairman Samir V. Kamath with the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. This attitude is slowing changing with the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh giving a leeway for high-risk projects, said DRDO Chairman Dr. Samir V. Kamath. Defense Research and Development Organization Chairman Dr. Samir V. Kamath said that there is an aversion to risk and intolerance of failure in India due to which people end up taking less challenging projects. Dr. Kamath made the comment in Bengaluru on September 21st while delivering the Air Chief Marshal L.M. Khatri Memorial Lecture 2024 on Defense R&D the road ahead. If there is a failure, immediately you get a comptroller and auditor general CAG report saying that you have caused loss to the government. Questions are raised who is accountable. That makes people take on less challenging projects. At United Nations Summit, India calls for global shift to sustainable living. The Summit of the Future brings together world leaders, policymakers, and other stakeholders to discuss global challenges and strengthen by multilateral cooperation to tackle emerging threats. India emphasizes affordable solutions for climate change at the United Nations Summit of the Future, promoting sustainable lifestyles and green jobs. Adopting sustainable lifestyles could tackle many of the challenges posed by climate change, and global success is more likely if affordable solutions are offered, India has said to the United Nations Summit of the Future. Addressing the summit in New York on Friday, September 2024, Leela Nandan, Secretary in the Union Environment Ministry, also said that the climate change discussions often focus solely on emission reductions, But we are more likely to succeed if we offer affordable solutions and not simply impose decisions. Why is pain so exhausting? Modern ways of thinking about the pain emphasize its protective effect. The way it grabs your attention and compels you to change your behavior to keep body parts safe. One of the most common feelings associated with the persisting pain is a fatigue, and this fatigue can become overwhelming. People with chronic pain can report being drained of energy and motivation to engage with others or the world around them. In fact, a study from the United Kingdom on people with long-term health conditions found pain and the fatigue are the two biggest barriers to an active and meaningful life. At last, there's a famous quotation said by Mother Teresa, whose full name was Mary Teresa Bojazihu. Birth anniversary 26th of August 1910 up to 5 September 1997. Better known as Mother Teresa, was an Albanian Indian Catholic nun and the founder of the Missionaries of Charity born in Skopje, then part of the Ottoman Empire. She was raised in a devoutly Catholic family. At the age of 18, she moved to Ireland to join the Sisters of Loreto and later to India, where she lived most of her life and carried out his missionary work. On September 4, 2016, she was canonized by the Catholic Church as a saint of the Teresa of Calcutta. The miracle that was reason for her canonization has been challenged. The anniversary of her death, 5 September, is now observed as of her feast day. Mother Teresa received several honors, including 1962 Roman Magsaysay Peace Prize and the 1979 Nobel Peace Prize. Her life and work have inspired books, documentaries, and films. The authorized biography written by Navin Chawla was published in 1992, and on 6th of September 2017, she was named as co-patron of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Calcutta alongside the Saint Francis Xavier. However, she was also a controversial figure, drawing criticism for her staunch opposition to abortion, divorce, and contraception. The poor condition and lack of the medical care in her house for the dying, and that donation funds were primarily used for religious expansion and conversion instead of providing care. Mother Teresa says a very famous quotation. She says that I can do things you cannot. You can do things I cannot. But together we can do great things. Okay, thank you.